Yo, what is up, guys? So I was originally going to do, or I guess I always like planned on doing a regular video for the Palace Ultimo 2019 range, but I'm actually heading home tomorrow for Thanksgiving. I got a couple days off, so I'm gonna be chilling there. And with how things are working out, I'm just not gonna have time to like edit the video. So I'm gonna do one of these live streams, and I actually did this with the last Palace drop, and it turned out fine. Like, you guys liked it. And actually, with a lot of the Palace drops, I skip over some pieces, but with these live streams, since I don't have to do the extra time, no thanks, Elijah. Because I have to do like the extra time in the editing, since I don't have to do that with the live stream, then I can just cover every piece and it doesn't really matter. So with that being said, this is Palace Ultimo 2019. I believe the first drop is this Friday at I don't know, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You guys can calculate whatever it is for you guys, but yeah, I believe the first drop is this Friday. That's usually how the Palace drops work. And as far as the Ultimo collection goes, it's kind of like Palace's special winter drop, and they do tend to be on the shorter side. Like, I gotta get my cursor back over here. Like, you guys can see, there really isn't like a whole lot. There's a decent amount of products, but siren stopped. There's a decent amount of products, but like definitely not as much as are in the full-on like Palace Autumn whatever, which you guys can check the last video for if you guys are curious how big those collections are. But yeah, I thought the last collection was really big. This one is pretty small. It's actually kind of a little bit smaller than I remember the Ultimo ones being, but I want to say they do Ultimo Part 2 also. But yeah, anyway, we'll just get into it now. Start off, you got this P3B parka, and definitely seen them use this blank before, or this silhouette, this parka, and I'm not too crazy about the camo that they're using on this. And yeah, I guess the fur is nice on this. Kind of looks interesting. I wonder if it's 3M, probably. Iridescent nylon is what it is. Yeah, so that looks weird with the back like that. It almost looks like it's like a mock-up or something, but yeah, kind of interesting with how the iridescent Palace like Triferg logo is. But other than that, definitely not a fan of that. Yeah, I don't know. And these jackets are always crazy expensive, so that's a pass for me. You guys already know the puffer jackets are not my favorite, so this is kind of trash for sure. Interesting branding going straight down the back, but yeah, it would take a lot for me to like a puffer jacket, and this one is not doing it for me. I will say the one thing I think is kind of cool on this jacket is you have this like side zip. No idea what it's for. Maybe just a pocket, probably just a pocket, but sometimes they'll do like symmetrical ones on the sides so you can unzip it and give yourself a little bit of breathing room with the material. Anyway, moving on, we got some Gore-Tex. Seen Palace doing a lot of Gore-Tex stuff with their collections past couple years. It really seems like Gore-Tex has just been everywhere. But this one is kind of cool. If you guys can't tell, it's got a bunch of little like raindrops on it, or kind of like some condensation. You know, when you look out a window and it's raining, you got all the raindrops, and you got a little Triferg on the bottom. Wonder if there's one. Yeah, nothing on the back. Kind of interesting. But this comes in couple different colorways. Let's see, 3 different colorways, I'm guessing. You get the blue, the green, and then the black. And I feel like this blue colorway definitely works the best. This green one is a little strange. I don't know, I just feel like the blue works the best because, you know, blue, water, and then also kind of like the sky. It's just pretty natural and it works well. I'm not crazy about it, but I can respect it. I don't think it's a terrible design. I could see why people would wear it. Also funny because it's like Gore-Tex, waterproof, and wear it out in the rain. Get actual raindrops on top of the raindrops. That's wild. So this actually might be, this is kind of a weird piece for me because this might be like my favorite piece from the collection, but I just don't care too much for the colorways. I think it would have been really cool if they did like some classic Patagonia colorways. Like Shia has that one like famous picture or whatever where it's like kind of a teal color and then also a light purple lavender color. I think that's a really cool colorway that would have worked great on this. Like maybe have that tealish green for the Sherpa, and then have, or I guess it's Polartec, have that color for that, and then all these accents like the pockets and the neck be that lavender color. But instead they have brown and blue, which I don't know. I don't feel too crazy about it, but I really like all the detailing that is going on in this piece. But moving on, you have it in a couple different colorways. Like, that just looks so cool with it zipped open a little bit. But yeah, moving on. I will also say I don't like this on the neck. The colorways, and then that is like what I don't like about this piece. This is probably my favorite colorway, but white is just, it's also like white Polartec, which is going to be very unforgiving if you get a stain. So this is decent, but I feel like that dark colorway just kind of takes away from the potential of this piece. Like, I feel like it could have been so cool, and Palace really does this a lot, where they'll have some really cool pieces, but I just don't really vibe with any of their colorways. But I still respect them. I like Palace for sure. This one, not a whole lot to be said here. Just a knit with some pretty basic design. It actually only comes in 2 colorways, which is kind of impressive, or kind of surprising. But yeah, I'm not crazy about that at all. Somebody said they bought their mom Undercover Daybreak Lucky Green. She's wanted them forever. Thought of you. Oh, thanks, man. I love those shoes so much. What's your thoughts on the Bad Vibes Forever Kill merch? I actually have not seen the Kill merch, so I'll have to look at that. You can DM it to me if you want, or put a link in the chat, maybe. I'm not sure if you guys can send links in the chat right now. Moving on, we have the Polartec Laser Hood, and they have been doing these for the last 3 collections, I want to say. They've been doing these Polartec ones, basically the same thing. You just have Polartec and then like lasered into the back, or debossed or embossed, or however they do it. They have the Triferg on the back, and I believe last time it was like the same thing, maybe a little Palace branding on the front, but this time you have in some pretty different colorways. That hot pink, camo, blue, which we've seen before, I want to say, maybe just a little bit different variation, and then this is definitely the most wild one. And people really go crazy for this camo, like this colorway of a camo, the orange camo. But I don't know. I'm not really too crazy about it. I feel like the Triferg also just looks a little bit off on this. Like, Triferg is like super saturated. Everything else has like kind of a, I don't know, a little like grayed out. But anyway, you have this bright high vis yellow one, kind of interesting. A regular camo. It's had just a ton of different camos. I think it's a cool piece. I want to say these are pretty expensive. They're Polartec materials, because Polartec is like kind of like a fleece material, very soft, very nice, keeps you warm. So it is a little bit more expensive. But moving on, they have the bottoms for all of the stuff, so you can just expect that. I will say maybe I like these a little bit more. I don't know. I bet these are like super comfortable though. Let's see, we have the Palace Shell Jacket, and they've actually been doing this for, I want to say this has been going on for the last 2 collections. They have this Palace stuff where it's spelled out like that, like the hit show Dallas, which I've never seen, but I know it's very big. But they've been doing plays on that with the Palace branding. I actually didn't see the back of this before, and it's, I don't know, I feel like that's a strange choice, just to have like Palace spelled like that on the back, and then on the front on the front like that, and then on the back they just have the OG Palace spell out. I don't know, I feel like that is so like conflicting. I don't know, maybe put that big across the back, the Palace, or just not put anything on the back. I don't know. Not crazy about that. I haven't really vibed with any of their Dallas Palace spin-offs, and I don't really like this. Kind of reminds me of those like senior sweats that people would wear. But yeah, not feeling those at all. What time is the drop? The drop will be at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. It's 10 Central for me. But yeah, I think that's 11. It's the same time as the Supreme drops, but on Friday. And actually, if you guys are following the Supreme drops. The Supreme drop this week, because of Thanksgiving, is going to be on Friday, same regular time. Was it like 8 a.m. Pacific? X merch is almost up. There's like 4 hours down. Moving on, we have the Ketchup hood in green, and I think this design is cool. I didn't see this before, but it looks like they have something going on the sides. Which, oh wow, all right, never mind. That is not what I was expecting. Very interesting. I can't. All right, the side view makes it look better, but I don't know. I don't know if I can get down with that. That's interesting. Ooh, actually, all right. This colorway is pretty cool. I actually do like that. Now that I've seen this colorway, this is a pretty dope piece. How you guys feeling about this? But yeah, I thought it was just gonna be the hood and then like maybe a stripe on the side or something. But that's an interesting design, because they've done similar stuff like this where they have the 3 colors kind of branded for locations or like flags, but then they'll just do it on the hood or like some accents on the sides and stuff. But so that's pretty interesting. Kind of cool to see them doing that. And then yeah, the pants just exactly the same. Yeah, the Polartec pants are probably still my favorite. The patch hood, been seeing people doing this. Not too crazy about this. I don't know, probably be pretty expensive too with all the cut and sewn, so look out for that. But yeah, I can definitely see how people would like that. People go crazy for the patchwork and all the cut and sewn stuff. This was another item that I just didn't really think was that cool. You have a bunch of the Palace P's just all over the place. Comes in a couple different colorways. Not too crazy. I've also never really been a huge fan of this Palace font. They've used it a couple different times, and it looks like you have a drop shoulder where the shoulders are going to be pretty big. The hem will be like, I don't know, past your shoulders. It's usually how a drop shoulder goes, and it allows them to do this big spell out across your shoulder blades. So yeah, not liking that too much. I don't know. Moving on, we have the Awaiting hood. Very old school design. That being said, I'm not too crazy about it. Got a big triferg on the back, little one on the chest. Pretty regular for somebody said, where'd I get all them subs? Hard work, man, we're grinding. But yeah, I'm not feeling this. Maybe it's the colorways, the designs, I don't know, that's just not for me. The card hood, I thought this one was kind of cool. I saw the front and I was like, this has potential. Kind of looks like they're going off of like was it MasterCard, I believe, maybe. But they have like the 3 different logos on the bottom, something going on there, and then you flop to the back, and I was just a little underwhelmed by this logo. I feel like they could have done more, made it look a little bit cooler, but I think this is a decent triferg. I'm not upset with it, and just, you know, I feel like it had more potential. And that comes in, what is it, like 4 different colorways, 3 different colorways. Nothing too much there. You have the P3D, which is kind of interesting because on the front you'll have it in like all in one colorway. Here you have Palace only spelt in red, and then you flop to the back and you have Palace in 3 different colors. And if you guys missed it, it is the P3D, like I said. And then this comes in a couple different colorways. I thought this one was interesting because you have the white hoodie with the white Palace. I mean, in this picture on my laptop, I can barely even see it. I don't know if it shows up very well for you guys, but yeah, in a couple different colorways. You have the black on black. Interesting choice, but I think this is all right. Nothing too crazy, just because those colorways are just kind of strange. The So Far hood, we've seen the So Far stuff before. It's just basically the blank. Whoa. All right, but yeah, comes in a ton of different colorways. Can't really complain about that. The Zip It Crew, looks like you have Palace branding there, a little cut and sewn action, and a zipper on the chest right there. I don't think this is, I don't know, I'm not too crazy about it. I feel like chest zipper could have possibly been better. Coming in not too many colorways also. It really seems like this Ultimo collection is pretty small. The Turf Surf Crew, you got a surfer. Almost looks like he's like plaid or something weird, but I'm sure it's just his outfit. Actually, nah, he's definitely plaid. It's like a plaid surfboard and then a plaid dude. Interesting. Can't say I'm too big of a fan of it. Oh, oops. Alright, moving forward, we have the Chatith long sleeve in burgundy. And I like this design, very reminiscent of like the 80s, 90s, around that era. But my critique for it is, I think it would have been cooler if they only had the Palace branding in one spot. But it makes sense that they put it all over because it's kind of like the old like 80s, 90s racing stuff. So where it's just plastered with logos and whatnot. But I think it would have been cool to only have like Palace only on the sleeves or Palace only on the chest. Probably just the sleeves. I think the sleeves would have looked the coolest. And then just have that stripe continue on the chest. Or maybe put like a different logo or something. But yeah, this comes in a couple different colorways. My favorite is easily this burgundy one. And then next up we have the liner long sleeve. Pretty simple. You just got some lines going on. Looks like a bunch of different colorways with a white bottom. I think that's a alright piece. One that I will avoid though. So Far waffle. Not going to click on that just because it's a So Far piece. We have the awaiting tops that match the hoodies we just saw. And I think these are much worse than the hoodies. I think those are ugly. Very ugly. I saw this and I do not like this one. The side Triferg, I just think it's weird. I know Supreme did some stuff like this like way back, where it was like huge. It said Sup on the side, I think. And I know Nike's done stuff like this, but I think with the swoosh it kind of works because that's more of like a logo, but they're both logos. I don't know. I just think the swoosh works a little bit better because maybe it's not like as loud of a logo. It's more of like a design, whereas this is, obviously the Palace Triferg, and I don't know. I just don't really care much for that. Palace has been doing like one t-shirt where they'll take a pop culture reference and then put the Palace Triferg on it. And this, of course, is from Mad Max 2, I want to say, Road Warrior, I think it was. I'm a big Mad Max fan, so I was really happy to see this, but honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like this isn't that cool of a design. I'm a big Mad Max fan, so like I want to like it, but it's just not that cool in my opinion. I feel like choosing Mad Max, I could have done a lot cooler Triferg integrations, like have a picture of Max walking away or something and put like a embossed Triferg on the back of his jacket because he's always rocking a leather jacket. Like I feel like that would have been pretty cool. Or maybe a picture of Max's car with some Palace branding on it, but they chose this dude, which I don't know. I think it's still cool, but that's most of my opinion on it is just biased because of it being associated with Mad Max that I like so much. So, but yeah, I can definitely see why people might not like it or vibe with it. I don't know. Kind of looks like some BDSM or whatever. We have the Egypt next up. You got a pyramid, a bunch of Palace spellouts going on with some gravity, three-dimensional stuff also. I don't know. I'm not really digging this design. It is interesting. Definitely has a lot of stuff going on. This is the steaming t-shirt. You got a Triferg on the front and then an iron on the back with some light bright P holes sticking out. And it says lighting off steam. This one's kind of cool. I feel like they could have done something cooler with the front instead of just a regular Triferg. Triferg does look like it has like a little something going on, so maybe it's made to look like it was ironed on or something. I don't know. But I do like that design on the back and the letting off steam. Maybe it would have been cool to put letting off steam on the front. I don't know. Still copying the Palace drip because I'm Texan and rep my shitty team. Nice. Let's see. Next up, we have the Domino t-shirt, which I don't want to spoil it, but we might see something related to this soon. And I was not crazy about this. They just look like regular dominoes and it says Palace on it. So I don't know. I don't think that's too cool of a design. Next, we have the P Sprang t-shirt, and you got these hills, kind of looks like it's like in Arizona or somewhere desert, and you have a mountain that is made to look like a triferg, and then some sun rays irradiating from it, making it look very auspicious. But yeah, that comes in a couple different colorways. Not too crazy about a lot of the colorways. I think the white and gray probably work the best, but yeah, that's a decent tee. They've been doing a lot of those like landscape ones also, along with the pop culture ones. We have the Tri-Tonk t-shirt, which has triferg on the front and then these flexing muscles on the back. And I saw the back on this and I thought, like, I just laughed, but I can't tell if I like it or not. I think it is goofy with the like dual mirrored muscles. I don't know. I think that's weird, but I don't know, kind of an interesting design. Yeah. So yeah, actually that's it for all the tops and bottoms. Next we have accessories, so we'll get into this. We have the Hothead Polartec hat in silver. Looks like you have a pretty thick Sherpa lining there. I'm not sure what these hats are called, this style, but they definitely have a name. I don't think it's the Bomber, but yeah, you got some Palace spell on the back. It does look like the outside is kind of like this weird nylon material. Can't really say I'm a fan of that. You have the trim beanie. Once again, you have the Sherpa, kind of like a Polartec, it looks like. It says 76% a hat, you pleb. Alright, interesting that says 76%. But yeah, this is wonky. This looks like what those dudes wore when they played in the NFL, like when it first started. I have no idea what year that was, like 1940 or something. You have this bucket hat, which looks like it's made of like a Gore-Tex material almost. Like, that's kind of whack. Not too big of a supporter of waterproof buckets, but you know, 'tis the season. This is Palace Ultimo, so it makes sense. The Final Frontier P hat, or the P6 panel if you guys want to get technical with it. And once again, you have the Sherpa lining, keep you warm, and it drops down. Yeah, I don't know, decent hat. I like the P hats. I think the P hats are hard to go wrong with unless you do something like this. This is not a very appealing material, I don't think. But yeah, it does look like it's 3M material. Almost looks like, I mean, people do way too much 3M nowadays, I feel. You have a Polartec hat, which is interesting. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it'd be very comfortable. Almost like at this point you might as well just wear a beanie, but hey, if you like the duckbill hats. And it's cold out. There you go. This is basically a basically hat, but instead it's called the Fleecy 6 panel. And you have the basically logo there that they use a lot. Let's see, the Warm Ting fleece. You have a fleece hat. Interesting. Yeah, but yeah, basically we just got a ton of hats that we've already seen them do, maybe some different colorways, and then they're doing it in this like fleece or Polartec, so nothing too crazy. I'm not crazy about that hat. The metal P6, yeah, I don't know, this is whack. This is the worst hat. I'm dubbing that the worst hat this collection. The Bunning P6 panel. We've seen this logo before, the Bunning Man or whatever. I think they've done it on tees and hoodies before, but yeah, and we've kind of seen them doing this a little bit, where they recycle a logo from the previous collection and just put it on some more pieces for the next collection. An example down here would be with the mountains. You saw them do a sweater with that logo, like, I don't know, last Ultimo 2 or something like that. That's ugly. The P knit beanie. It's actually pretty nice. Just a pretty quiet knit beanie. I like that red one, the red on red. The mellow one beanie. That's a little too mellow for me. And then the Alpine beanie, which, like I said, has those mountain logos, and it has PAL on one side and then Ace on the other, kind of like it's going up and down the mountain, or like the mountain was erected in between it and pushed it upward. You have the patch beanie. I feel like they do these all the time, the patch beanies. Polartec Go-Go scarf. not really feeling this. If you guys are looking for Polartec scarves, I think Supreme has some better ones this season. Neck warmer, which matches a lot of the Polartec material tops and bottoms that we saw before, and all those different colorful camos. Not too crazy about this sock. I feel like 2 collections ago, I want to say, they had the coolest socks. It was like a pea that was on fire. All right, so here we go. The accessories. This is more on the cooler side. We saw the Palace domino design before, and then you have actual Palace dominoes, which is interesting to see them do. And the one side is plain, yes, but the other side has the Palace spell out, which is kind of cool. Usually you just got those blank, and I actually don't even know how to play dominoes, but I think those look pretty dope, and that is a cool box for sure. Looks like the top just slides off like that, but yeah. Next up, we have a Palace skate tool, just a triferg with all the other tools that you will need. And we have a duck out keyring. Once again, we saw the duck, the Palace Autumn. They had a big spell out of Palace on the back, I think, and then the duck also below it. But yeah, kind of a cool keyring, but that stuff's always so expensive. And then the sticker pack, got some cool stickers. But that is it for this collection. I do not think it's that crazy. I really like what they did with this Polartec jacket. I will say this is probably my favorite item from the drop, or from the collection, the range. But just, I do not really connect with too many of these colorways. It's hard for me to say like which one I like the most. I do like the white one just because I think that colorway works the best, but I think this brown one is a little louder, which I feel like this piece should be loud. It should scream like the 80s with some 80s colors, but I don't know, brown and blue, not crazy about. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm gonna end it there. Let me know what you guys think of the collection. Are you a fan of it or not? Are you gonna be copping some stuff? Are you gonna be going for some stuff? And as always, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, that's it.